guys, this is Ms. Fernandez. Today we're going to learn a little bit about Adobe After Effects. It does fall under the Creative Suite for Adobe, so that means that it shares a lot of similar traits with Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere, which is the video editing software, as well as Flash. So when you do open the program, it should be down at the bottom of your dock. It's a little purple square, and that one is for Premiere, that's Illustrator, and After Effects. This is the one that you want. Okay, so you're going to open it, give it some time. It takes a moment to open because it's quite a large program as well. And you're going to open a new composition. So you can just click on that, and it'll just ask you to name your composition. So we'll just call this one Test. And you can leave everything custom 1280, 720, whatever the default is fine. For duration, let's bring this down to, right now it's saying 10 seconds. So the first two zeros refer to frames. So in a video, every second of video counts up to 30 frames. The following two numbers will be seconds, the following two numbers are minutes, and the first two numbers are hours. Okay, so in this case I'm going to do 05 because that's how long we're going to do this project for, and we're going to hit OK. Alright, so similar to Adobe Premiere, if you've been editing before, what this will have is it'll have obviously your window to watch your composition, and it will have your timeline here, and your layers will be on the left hand panel. Okay, and you click on project, you can now see this is my composition, and you can import images. So for example, you could import a background and any other assets that you've created, for example images in Illustrator. Alright, that being said, we also have tools at the top here, which are very similar to any of the Photoshop or Illustrator tools. So in this case, we're going to actually start with some text. So let's select a text. Notice how your properties change on the right hand side, and you have the option to adjust the font type, regular, bold, etc. The size, so you can just click and hold and the font size will get larger. And there are many other options, including paragraphs and effects and presets. So let's just leave it at this for now. Maybe we can choose an interesting color. Okay, click on the screen, and notice immediately on the bottom it says text layer 1, and my timeline is now highlighted in red, indicating that there is going to be some kind of element there. So we're going to call this my movie, and we should be able to adjust this. Okay, you can adjust the size again, so we can also pull on these corners. Look at that, that's pretty cool. Basically this program allows you to add special effects. You can do green screen effects, you can do moving images, you can do fancy things like explosions and bullets and blood splatters and all that kind of stuff that you guys are into. So let's just say we've got our project here, it's centered. This is how we like to set it up. Notice here you have all of the functions, so if I want to hide a layer I can hide it. If I need to lock a layer I can lock it as well. You can also import video, so if I've imported a video that I've been editing and I need to add an effect, I could import it into this project area and then drag it into my timeline and then overlay graphics on top of it. Okay. So let's go down to text. You click on this little window, this arrow right here next to the colored box, and you'll see transform. So what I'm going to try to do is scale this text. So I would like that over time it will get larger, it'll grow onto the screen. But I'm going to adjust my timeline right now because as you can tell it's in frames and I don't want to go frame by frame. Okay, I think I might have done frame by frame. Anyways, we'll figure that out in a moment. So scale, I click on scale and notice that automatically gives me a little yellow point here. And I can move forward, and I'm going to go all the way to the end of our animation, and I'm going to click on this dot again. So what I'm telling, this is called keyframing. So it means that I'm asking the computer to modify frame by frame this image. All right, so in this particular frame, the words are going to be this size. When I go to the last keyframe, we're going to adjust the size of it. So let's make sure we're selected on that. And you can push and pull. Oops, cancel that. You can push and pull to move your objects around, okay? And we can scale it, position it, anchor points. There's lots of interesting stuff you can do. I'm just showing the very basics. You could even adjust opacity, so maybe it grows but it fades out. So let's just say that, let's go back to the beginning and click on opacity. So let's just say we want it at 100% opacity. It means that we can see it's very bright. And then as it grows, we want it to fade out. So now we can click again on this little dot, add another yellow dot on our timeline, and we can bring our opacity all the way down so that it disappears. Okay, so here we are. We've got our text, and we've decided that it's going to expand and then it's going to fade out. And now to export your file, all you have to do is go to File, Export, and you're going to add to your render queue. Okay, and it'll automatically open this at the bottom. So this is your timeline, this is your render queue, and I've got a different one here, so don't worry about that one. So test, this is the one you're going to work with. You can modify your output, so that means just the format that you would like it to output into. So right now we're just going to leave it at the default, and just make sure here that you are indicating the name of the project and where you want to save it and the file format. Okay, so QuickTime it is. So hit save, and then you can do a render, and you can see it rendering right across the screen. And when it's done, it just plays automatically, and it kind of does a little chime for you. So if I minimize this, I should be able to find it. There it is. It's on my desktop. So it just converts it, and it should play it exactly as we had planned it. Okay, so my movie, it expands and it fades out to black. So that in a nutshell is just an example of one of the little things that After Effects can do for you.